Hi, Flosstube. My name is Candace. This is Flosstube number 1. I decided to join in on the fun and record my cross-stitch journey and hopefully be an inspiration eventually to others, or maybe give others some idea of things they can do that maybe they didn't think of before. I've watched a lot of Flosstube. I'm compared to most people, I'm a new stitcher. I just started November of 2019. I have been crafty for quite a few years, but I didn't really discover cross stitch until I was looking up something on Fat Quarter Shop's Flosstube. There was a tutorial I needed for, I don't even know what it was now. It could have been a quilt block, or I don't know. But Kimberly had mentioned that she cross-stitched. So I decided, okay, well, let me check out and see what this Flosstube video is. And she started talking about cross-stitch, and I watched her beginner videos on how to cross-stitch, what to start with, and I kind of got sucked in big time. A little bit of quick background. I'm married. I have 2 boys. They are currently outside and hopefully stay there. My cat is over here. This is Whiskers. Say hi, Whiskers. He's amazing. His sister's around here somewhere. They will be 1 in July. I also have 2 dogs. They are both they're both rescues from different places. Lucy turned 1 on February 15th, and Bella turned 1 on March 9th. So they're both just 1. My kids are 6 and 8, both boys. Obviously, no one's working, no one's in school. My husband and I are furloughed right now, so that's been interesting. But I have to say I'm eating pretty well because he loves to cook. So we're definitely eating much better than we normally would. My kids are also eating much better than they normally would. Just gave myself a bang haircut today. Probably could have taken a little more off, but just gonna have to roll with the punches with hair because we're not open. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. I'm in Northwest Indiana, and we are, as of right now, are still shelter in place until May 1st. But Illinois just went until May 30th, I believe. And we just got an alert half an hour or so ago that Michigan is going until May 15th. So I'm fairly certain we'll extend. And the industry that my husband and I work in is like the service and entertainment industry. We definitely will not be one of the first places to open. It could be a while. So, a little stressful, but stitching definitely gets me through that. As far as other crafts, I knit, and I quilt and sew. I used to have an Etsy shop that I sold a lot of baby items on when my kids were super little. Baby quilts, cloth diaper covers, burp cloths, the carriers. I made the little covers for the straps, because when you're carrying your baby and they start to teeth, they like to chew on the straps. So these would help protect the straps, and they were easy to take off and wash. Now I'm making pretty much just quilts and cross-stitch bags because Maynia is coming. And this will be my first Maynia since I'm a new stitcher. So let's, enough about me. Let's talk about the cross-stitch. Let's see. So I have had a couple of finishes, but the majority of them have been gifts. I have it on my phone because these were all given away, so I don't have them with me. The first one, this is the first cross-stitch pattern I ever did. And this one, I had to write this down because I couldn't remember. I got this off of Etsy from a place called The Stitch Patterns, and it's called Verde Gnome. I made this for my mom for Christmas. And I'm not sure if it's going to focus or not. I am a YouTube newbie, so it's going to be hard to see on my phone. But either way, I used just 14 count white Aida for this. And I didn't know at the time, because I was so new, that all of the white background was supposed to be stitched. I did not stitch all that white background. I only stitched the colors. So that lives at my mom's house in Georgia. And then the next thing I did was from Lori Holt, and it is the vintage Christmas sampler. Got that off of Fat Quarter Shop. Got the 10 count vintage Aida that it called for, and used the called for DMC colors. The only thing, I feel like I changed one of the candy canes. I think I did. I made them into ornaments for an ornament exchange. There we go. Oh, hello, newbie. So those went to my friend Kim. We do an ornament exchange every year. There's a couple of us that all have kids around the same age. We met online. And so this year that was for her. For my boss, this is actually a pattern from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, but I got it out of the Just Cross Stitch 2017 Ornament Edition. So this is Snow Much Fun at the North Pole. I'm going to tell you a little something about this. So this was the first time I stitched it. I messed it up. My kids are coming in, so I apologize. When I went to finish it, I cut into the stitching. I had to redo it. So I had to stitch it again. I will say it did look better the second time, so it was like practice. She loved it. She hung it on her tree in her office. So that was another finish. And then here is my most recent finish for my friend Chrissy, for her son. This is another pattern I got off Etsy, and of course it's backwards. Why wouldn't it be? I'm not really sure how to flip stuff around to make it so you can see it right. But I'll figure it out. This is just the first video. So this pattern was from the Cross Stitch Factory, and I did it. This was my first time stitching on Monaco. So I did 28 count white Monaco and just used the called for DMC colors. This got me into learning how to backstitch because Batman's, like, his belt had backstitching on it. So I gave that to them for Cooper's birthday. So those are my fully finished objects. I have finished a few more things, but apparently I'm not very good at fully finishing things. And I don't really have a ton of, I think sliding down over here. I don't really have a ton of finishing items. I have a lot of fabric, but not a trim. And I have a little bit of sticky board and some foam board and stuff, but I don't have a ton of stuff. So the next thing I actually finished this around Christmas, was Country Cottage Needleworks. Ho, ho, ho. Away we go. I love this one. And this was my first venture into Chalkboard Black Aida. And I love this. I definitely need to find a frame and get it framed for this Christmas. Obviously, I didn't iron anything. I've ironed a lot of fabric lately for cross-stitch bags, so my iron's in timeout. The next thing I did on Chalkboard Black Aida was Priscilla and Chelsea's Chicken Joy. I love this, and I'm actually going to turn this into a bag. I know it's very close on this side. That's the newbie. And my back on this one is not good either. And there's not even that many colors in it, but this is going to turn into a bag. I have some fabric that I really want to use, but I don't have a black zipper yet. So I need to order a black zipper so I can finish that. And if I can figure out how to put things below in the description box, I will. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe when I upload this, nothing will be backwards. I don't know. First time. So I made this one for my husband to go above his Keurig, and this is from Hands On Design. It's called Rise and Grind. I have a couple that I've been eyeing to make like a little coffee wall for him above his Keurig. I don't drink coffee. I like mocha, but in general I don't drink coffee. I do drink tea. Hot tea, cold tea, all kinds of different teas. Today, I had to run to my LNS, and we'll talk about that in haul, but I went and got a black iced tea from Starbucks. Now, this is just plain black iced tea. There's no sweetener in it. I don't like sweet tea. And I realized that I haven't worked since March 13th. My last Starbucks order was March 12th. Because I work 7 to 3, so I would place a mobile order, go pick it up before work, and then I don't have to wait in the line. I could just run in, grab it, and go. I don't have to wait in the line with all the other early birds. But our local Starbucks is closed, but where my LNS is, their Starbucks is open for drive-thru. So I went and got a nice tea today. So this is Rise and Grind. 28 count tea dyed Monaco. I used called for DMC. And I love this. I actually have a frame for it. I just haven't done it. I really just need to pick a day and just start finishing, fully finishing things. Because he will look at me when I mention it and he's like, yeah, it's still not hanging. And, So when the Australian fires were going on and everyone was doing charts to help benefit different charities, Frosted Pumpkin Citrine came out with theirs. And I did just the koala. I didn't do all the other stuff because my son saw it like this and loved it. And he wanted it for his room. So I just did this little guy. And of course it needs just a quick little frame or a quick little flat fold, or, Vanna's tutorials will definitely come in handy with this. This is just on 14 count white Ada with DMC, but it's going to go in my son's room because he really liked it, which means I'm probably going to have to make another animal for my other son because then he'll get jealous. And my second to last is Cat Lessons for People by Lizzie Kate. I started stitching this, and at the time we had 3 cats. We had the 2 kittens, and then we had my old, I call her Grandma Cat. She passed away about halfway through me stitching this. She was 16, so she definitely was not a young cat. So I used called for DMC, but I changed the cat in the middle to look like my cat. She was an orange tiger. She was huge. She was a big old fluff ball. Apparently you saw whiskers, so I have a thing for orange cats, I guess. And then we also have one of our dogs is like ginger colored and white. I'm sorry for the light back there. This is not going to be my normal setup. This is until the basement gets finished, and then I'll record down there if this goes well and I can figure out how to upload everything. But so anyway, I have a frame for this as well. It just needs to be washed, ironed, framed. I just need to do it. So that's, once again, just sitting here waiting to get done. And then, so this is the pattern for that one, or the chart. I am probably going to end up getting Dog Lessons for People as well. I like that one, and now that we have dogs, it would be fitting to have both up. Now, here's where you're really going to see Newbie Stitcher. So, these are the Well Hello There from Hands On Design. And I purchased the entire set and all of the buttons from Down Sunshine Lane online. So I did these on 14 count Ada. This is one of those times where I started stitching on Ada because I didn't know any better. And as I started watching more Flosstube, I started learning about the even weaves. But I really think these work well with Ada because it's a little bit stiffer. It works good for the buttons. It's easy to get things even on there. However, I didn't really pay attention to the directions and the finishing. This one is correct. The borders are a little tight. But then we come to these. These are not square like they're supposed to be. I just cut them down, not thinking of finishing and needing an extra border. So the ones that are like this, I may take the buttons off and restitch them. I'm kind of leaning that way because I want them to all look the same, and these were intended to hang in my office at work. And I was just going to use one of the little boards with a clip on it to, each would have their own coordinating fabric for the backing, and then I would just hang them up in my office and change them out each month. So I have all of them stitched, but I do have a couple that need to be restitched. And then I have a couple, for some reason March doesn't have buttons yet. The buttons are in the bag. So I need to put buttons on. So kind of a finish, kind of not, but they're all living in, I got these bags on Amazon. They have a mesh front, so I can put my chart in it and see what's inside. So I have some of these, and then I started making bags for Maynia. Got some vinyl. I've made some with vinyl, some without. So I do like these though, and if it's a chart that is digital, I will put a little, I'll show you in my WIPs. I'll put a little tag on it so I know what it is. So that's what I have for finishes. So for WIPs, I don't really have a lot of WIPs as compared to most people. Mostly because a couple of things I have are bigger, and I have a lot of charts, but I don't have a lot of fabric for them. And my husband may give me a pretty good side eye about just ordering all the things, considering the fact that I started knitting when I was pregnant with my son, with my oldest. So he just turned 8. So probably 8.5 years ago I started knitting. I have a massive yarn stash. And not yarn from Joann's. It's indie dyed yarn. And I have a lot of yarn. I also have knit a lot of projects. If there was a Ravelry for cross stitch, I'd be in. And I would never leave the house. Even if it was okay to leave. But anyway, so WIPs. This is, now I think you say her name Cor-E Beticor, but I don't know. This is Halloween and cross stitch, and I love this one. I don't really have a set style, like I'm not strictly a primitive stitcher or a modern stitcher, or if I see it and I like it, I'm going to stitch it. So this one, and it's huge. I did not realize how big her charts were until I got this one. So this is what I have done so far. And I'm using the called for DMC. And I apologize if you can hear my kids outside. They're really loud right now, and the windows are closed. So I'm working on this little sign here. And there's a lot of black and there's a lot of white. But this is 28 count tea-dyed Monaco from Fat Quarter Shop. It's just the already dyed Monaco. There is her. And I have a little cube basket that I keep everything in. This I was actually working on last night. So it's Nora Corbett. And it is Fairy Autumn Glow. I'm actually going to do all the seasons of this one. So this is the first one I've gotten. I'm using all the called for beads, floss. I'm not changing anything in that because I'd probably mess it up. But this is where I got to last night. I did so this little red and then all of this down here. I worked on this a lot yesterday. I really, really like it. And this is Ada. It's the called for, I want to say it's Beach Walk. Yes, it called for Beach Walk linen, but I am still kind of scared of linen. So it called for 32 count linen. I am using 16 count Beach Walk Ada that I got off 123 Stitch. I really like this one. I can't wait to finish it. I have, my needle minders end up getting stuck to my scissors sometimes. This, I'm sure you guys have seen it if you watch Fat Quarter Shop at all. This is homegrown, and I didn't realize just how much stitching this would be. So I'm using everything in the kit, but that's as far as I've gotten. And I'm outlining the H so that when my husband and I watch a really good movie, I can just fill in while we're watching the movie. But this is everything in the kit is what I'm using. So the DMC, the Ada that it comes with is it's like the, hold please. So there's, and whitewashed board. That's what it is. Whitewashed board. So that one is my kind of like easy movie stitch. And this is what I meant about if I don't have the, if it's a digital pattern, I just put these little tags on it. My outfit was right side up. So this one is Winter Chalkboard. This is by Kathy Haberman. And this one was in a calendar. I have all my floss stuck to it. And I started, so I got the called for linen. It looks awful. I won't even give you a close-up of the stitches. They're terrible. They're not even. This was not. It's chalkboard slate linen. And it's 32 count, and I need to try on a lighter linen before I go back to that. So I went on 123 Stitch, and I got 28 count black Jobelin. I love Jobelin. It's just fantastic. So this is where I'm at on that, and my hope is to definitely have this done for next Christmas. And this one, there's a group, it's the Chalk Talk Sal group on Facebook. If you go to the Hands-On Design group, it's easy to find it through there. But we're looking forward to the new ones that Kathy's going to come out with to match that. If I had my Kindle over here, I would show you what the chart looked like. Well, hold on. It's just right there. So, because I just worked on this the other day. Okay, so this is the winter chalkboard. And I'm using DMC for it. I'm not using the hand-dyed flosses, because when I first started this, I didn't have any hand-dyed flosses. I do have hand-dyed flosses now, but I still have not yet stitched with them. So this, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I know Joyfield Stitcher's doing it. I know there's a couple other people doing it. This is the Linen and Threads Stitch Along. I am using 28 count light gray Jobelin. And this is where I'm at on that. So each month there's a new section that comes out. And I can hear my little kitten meowing back there. This right here is, let's see if I can get it up a little higher here. So this right here is the one for April. I've just started on it. I'm actually using it, since it's a sampler, it's, you know, I guess it's a quicker sampler. All I know is it's a mystery, and most people use one color, but a lot of people went and did variegated flosses, I actually did a variegated, and then I did, so here's this is a DMC 52, and then I picked other purples that were in here, and then this whole thing is just going to be different shades of purple. And then I'll actually do the initials later. There's initials that go into it. Once I figure out where I want to put everyone's initials, then I'll do those later. I'm a little behind on this one. I need to finish it up before the end of the month. I've been doing really good at keeping up on it, but this motif is huge. So here's that's the motif for this month, and it's huge. You know, probably what I should have done is for 24 hours of cross stitch this weekend, I should have finished this. So that one needs to get done for sure. Bloomtopia. I am doing Bloomtopia. I substituted almost every color. I made a list of the colors, and I changed them after I made this list too. So I have all of the, I don't know how to make it focus. I'm using the Surface for this instead of my phone. But here is mine. And this is on Graceful Gray, Ada. I like it. I think it's going to be really cute when it's done, and I'm going to probably just put it in a frame or finish it on a board and put it downstairs in my craft area whenever that's finally done. We have all the flooring for it. I just need to pick paint. And my husband needs to finish the half bath down there. So this one's Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Animal Almanac. And I am caught up on this one. So we have, let me do it this way. So we have Aurora in January, and then Rennie the Fox is February. Leap the Frog was March, and Posy the Bunny was April. So these are all done. And if I was smart, I would go through and do the rest of the globes, so I could just fly through them each time that they're released. But they're super fun, and it's a lot of DMC colors. But they're adorable. Look how cute they are. And my kids like seeing the different animals pop up every month. They get pretty excited about those. So, what do I have? I have 1, 2. I'm missing one. Hold, please. Okay. So this one I'm going to have to pull up on my Kindle again. It is a Heaven and Earth Designs. Of course, I discovered full coverage and decided I had to do that also. And this one is, sorry, apparently this is mini, it's a mini chart, so it's not the full chart, but it's mini Citrine. Because my birthday is in November, so my birthstone is Citrine or Topaz. So this is what she looks like. I think she's super pretty. I just really wanted to stitch this for myself. So I have a full page finish plus some. When I gridded this fabric, I should have just ordered Easy Grid. And I don't know why I didn't. I gridded this with DMC, so I've had to be really careful not to split my threads. Now I know that the, what is it, Sulky Sliver, the metallic ones, work better because you can't puncture it. It's been a learning experience. I also learned that I'm not a square by square person. I'm more of a partial cross-country type person. So I'm actually really excited about this. I really like it, and I can't wait to get it done. But I did in March, my goal was to put in at least 200 stitches a day. And I'm doing, this is 25 count Lugana, I'm doing 1/1 full cross. So I met my goal. I did 200 stitches a day. And I was really excited, but I knew that I was going to need to set it down or I was going to get burnout. So I haven't touched this since the end of March. But I really like that goal, and I may do that maybe like every 3 months. I might do a work on it the whole month, do like 200 stitches a month, because it's really not that big. There's only a little extra down here. It's not like one of those massive, huge full coverage. Most of the ones I'm doing are going to be minis. Now this one, thanks to Two Martini Stitcher, for the Long Dog Leap Day sale, I had a really hard time deciding which one to do because I love Cardinal Points. I love it. But I also love Game of Swans. So I decided to go with Game of Swans. And, oh, my needle has decided to hold. When I put my needle in here, it went through the folded fabric too. Okay. So this is what I've got done so far. And if anyone wants my conversion, let me know. I started to do the DMC conversion, and I don't know, the colors just, when I saw them all laid out, it wasn't working for me. So I went on, there's CodyHoover.com has DMC to DMC conversions. So you put in the DMC color, and it gives you 5 other colors that are really close to it. So this is what I came up with as far as, well, so far. I'm still on the first page. I will end up doing this swan right here. I'll finish his whole or her whole body. I'm not sure who's on the left and who's on the right, whether it's mom or dad, but before I start moving on, I just love it. I love stitching this. So thank you. Thank you for doing this, Sal, because I really like it. There's another kid. They must be done playing. Okay, for me. Oh, how about I show you the chart? Huh? Game of Swans. Long Dog Sampler. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry. My kids came in from outside. My husband's back from walking the dogs, so we just chased them into their bedroom with books, and I said, just give me a few more minutes. So, the Game of Swans from Long Dog Samplers is on 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. It is my first time with 32 count, and I love it. It feels no different from 28 count. So I'm definitely feeling more brave. Last WIP. This one I actually started for my granny, who was staying with my mom down in Georgia. My granny lives in Michigan. But she went to stay with my mom for the winter in Georgia. And then some family stuff was going on, and she just really wanted to go home. But my plan, because her room at my mom's is purple, and I really wanted to make something for her because she taught me. I didn't learn to cross stitch when I was a kid, but I did do the plastic canvas with the yarn. So we'd make like the little windmills or like wind spinner things. We made like little mailboxes, and we would stick notes in them to each other and little stockings. She also taught me how to paint ceramics. There was just a lot of craftiness happening at Granny's house, and I really wanted to do something for her. So this is another Core-E Batacore. This is Lavender Farm. I'm using all the called for DMC. And I was making this to go in her room at my mom's. Unfortunately, she ended up leaving early, and I was trucking along on this sucker. I had the border done. I was just moving on this thing. And then when she went back home, I got a little bummed out, and I kind of took a little bit of a break on it. But I have picked it up, and I've started working on it again. And this one is on 28 count lamb's wool Jobelin. Get it right side up here. So that's what I have so far. Get the whole thing in the picture. And I'm hoping the lighting is okay because it's kind of gloomy outside. But Yeah, the white's kind of hard to see. I'm not a fan of stitching with white. My white stitches are not good, like Tech Guy from Kia B, Tech Guy in the Hive. His white stitches are great. Mine are not so good. Maybe I should send my white stitches to him. But anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. I love stitching on this. It's a big piece, and I lost a little bit of my mojo on it when Granny went back home. So that is it for WIPs. Haul. Today I went to my L&S and picked up fabric for 24 hours of cross stitch. And I got, this is the gigantic piece of lamb's wool Jobelan. It's 32 count. Huge. Gigantic. What is it? 36 by 32. I'm going to cut it down because I'm doing 24 hours of cross stitch. And I decided to pull out, I've had this in my stash for a little while. This is Hands On Design Year of Celebrations. And I'm going to start all 12 months. So I'm either going to do, and the 24 hours of cross stitch, if you haven't heard about it, is from Jen Lee at Quirks and Stitches. I want to say her and her mom Cindy do it every 2 or 3 months. They do 24 hours. It started as 24 hours straight. And then it kind of went to you do you. Like whatever works best for you for the weekend. They started last night. They went online at 11:55 and filmed a, hey, we're starting right now. So I know they got a little bit done last night. And then they slept and then they started again this morning. I am actually going to start as soon as I'm done with this. And I don't think I'm going to pull 24 straight, only because my kids wake up really early. And I also the living room is really my only place to go. I don't want the dogs to be awake all night, like thinking it's daytime and then wake everybody up. So I'll probably just work as late as I can and then get some sleep and then start again tomorrow morning. But I'll start with January, and I'll either do 1 hour and then go to February, or I'll do 2 hours and then go to February, do February for 2 hours. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But I'm using almost all called for DMC. There were 2 colors I did not have, and I don't even know if I'm going to get to those colors this weekend, but I subbed them out anyway. So this 32 count is for that, and I'm going to cut it up to make it easier to handle because this is a huge piece. And I normally stitch in hand, except on certain things. Full coverage, obviously, is in a Q-snap. And then I have all my floss for them. I put it in, I bobbinate. Well, I bobbinate DMC. Hand-dyed flosses, I don't know yet. Maybe I need to make some thread drops so I can hang them up. But I grabbed all the DMC for that so I don't have to go searching for anything. I just need to grab a needle, and I have scissors ready to go. I have wine. I think that's it. Sorry. I'm reaching. I had a little cheat sheet, and then I didn't even fill it out. So I do track, because I watched a lot of Flosstube before I started actually stitching. I got the cross stitch journal off at Quarter Shop. I actually have 2 of these, and they're full. I haven't done that many projects, but I have that many charts. So I have a 3rd one coming soon, hopefully. I think that's it for now. I'm going to do a separate video on Maynia stuff, probably after this weekend. But I just kind of wanted to share a little bit about my cross-stitch journey. And there's a lot of people that I've watched, and I like seeing all the different things that people do. I may not be super into, the antique samplers, but I like seeing people stitch them. So it's fun to have variety in Flosstube, and hopefully someone finds this interesting and they want to keep watching. And if not, it helps give me something to do. Like today, I blow dried my hair, I trim my bangs, I have real clothes on, I put jeans on to go to the my L&S, And oh, my LNS's House of Stitches in LaPorte, Indiana. They are amazing. I mean, they literally have my order ready so fast. It's great. So, yeah, I'm ready to get stitching for 24 hours of cross stitch. So I'm going to cut this fabric, and in a couple of days I'll come back with a Maynia video. It'll be my first Maynia, so I'm doing 31 new starts. And if you have any questions for me, please feel free to ask. Hopefully we'll be able to put stuff in the description box below. Like I said, newbie. I'll probably have my husband help me with the tech side of it because he's much better. He works in the tech side at the company we work for, so he's got a little more computer knowledge than I do. Oh, the days of working. I do miss work. As much as I would like to stay home to stitch all the time, I do miss work, and I miss talking to people. But that's all right. For now, we're getting to hang out with the kids, and we do school. They have e-learning, which is not new for us. Whenever we had a snow day, they would have e-learning. So I guess that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. I know there's a ton of Flosstubers that I didn't mention, but if I sat here and listed all of the ones I watch, you'd be like, okay, done. Done. So I hope to see you next time. Everyone have a great day, and I'll come back in a couple of days with a Maynia video. Bye.